RetroDaze.
What was hiding in our childhood basements? Monsters, probably. I mean, if a monster was going to hide somewhere in my house, the basement always made a heck of a lot more sense to me than under my bed or in the closet. Because basements are dank, damp, dark, devious, and other things that don't start with the letter D. That was only at night though, because during the day, basements were potential playgrounds of wonderment. Depending on the home, they could have been used for storage, turned into rumpus rooms, finished into entertainment hubs, or, well, not exist at all. Our topics aren't always universally relatable, and we're keenly aware that not everyone had a basement growing up. Heck, writer Tony lived in an apartment, and I lived in the South where basements, generally speaking, aren't even a thing. We do sometimes have crawl spaces though, which are so much worse. Anyway, we hope that even if you don't have a basement, you'll enjoy hearing about these endlessly mysterious rooms and all the interesting things you might have found there in the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
They're living right in your basement, your garage, or your workshop. Their bites can be vicious. Their claws powerful, their teeth sharp, and they can hurt you bad. Unless you treat them properly, handle them with care, with caution. After all, they're your tools. And they can be your best friends or your worst enemies. Learn how to tame them, how to use them safely, how to maintain them properly. That way you'll be using them wisely. For a free safety information pamphlet, write Tools, Washington, D.C. 20207. That's Tools, Washington, D.C. 20207.
There, now it's purring like a kitten.
Product safety. It's no accident.
For some of us, basements were dreary places. They smelled of mildew and mothballs. They felt constantly damp and humid. All our worst nightmares live in those dimly lit underground rooms. They may as well have been caves or mines, what with the flickering bare bulbs and groaning machinery. Oh, come on. I didn't mean to scare you. Let's go down the steep, creaking steps and check it out. Never mind that it's an open riser staircase and anyone or anything can reach right through and grip your ankle from behind. Come now, that's just your childhood fears talking. Follow me down and watch your step, because for some unholy reason, the pull cord for the light isn't at the top, but at the bottom of the stairs. That's right, one foot after the other. What? Oh, that. No, that's just the boiler. Or maybe the washing machine. But definitely not a five-spine screeching terror from the hell dimension. That's just crazy talk. See? You made it all the way to the bottom. Oh my god, look behind you! It's terrible! It's hideous! Gotcha. Nah, no monsters. But like the PSA warned, lots of tools hanging from a pegboard and power tools scattered around a workbench. There's the boiler, the washing machines, and some other general storage. Though due to the dampness, nothing important or fragile is ever left down here. It's mainly the kind of stuff you also see in a garage or an outdoor shed. Over there on a rickety bare wooden shelf, there are jars of nails and screws, cans of WD-40, and a blue Royal Dance can filled with bolts, old keys, hinges, and all manner of ephemera. Yeah, not exactly the treasure trove we were hoping for, but maybe in the next basement.
Hi, I'm Terry Miners at one of my favorite hangouts, Steepleton Billiards and Basketball. I'm waiting on my brand new custom-built pool table. Steepleton's craftsmen build the finest pool tables available right here in Louisville. So whether you take pool seriously, like me, or as just a family pastime, come see what Steepleton has for you.
Your table's ready, Mr. Manners.
Steepleton's Billiards and Basketball.
Using some of that old-time retro days magic, let's transport to another house circa 1989. Our next basement to explore is in a sprawling 3-story home, decorated like something out of a 1980s NBC sitcom, maybe Silver Spoons, Family Ties, or Mr. Belvedere. All the gloom is dissipated. The door leading down to the basement even sports a congenial sign that says, "Enter as strangers, leave as friends." The entrance has a convenient light switch right at the top, which illuminates not a bare swinging bulb, but extensive track lighting that floods the room with a warm glow. The walls are covered with homey wood paneling and parquet wood tiles, amplifying that cozy vibe. In the dead center of the room lay an enormous billiard table, over which hangs another light, this one a game table lamp. It hangs from chains and features Tiffany-style glass shades and dark wood accents. Rather than a gaudy branded shade with beer logos like Budweiser or Miller, this one features an image of racked billiard balls on one long side and the word billiards on the other. On the left, there's a wall-mounted pool cue rack, next to which hangs a dartboard. Amazingly, this basement is enormous enough to house not only this table, but an entire second section to the right filled with 3 pinball machines. This is clearly not your everyday middle-class family's basement. They have High Speed and Space Shuttle, both mid-80s releases from Williams. There's also an older 1960s machine from Gottlieb called Diamond Jack. Though this is ostensibly a family game room, we are talking about the 80s here, so on the far back wall there's an L-shaped wet bar surrounded by bar stools. Behind the bar are built-in wall units designed with mirrored chips and brass trim. The space has a real Miami Vice vibe, with white lacquered bars, neon pink and blue lighting, and thick marble surfaces. Though, as the 90s hits, the patriarch of this family will very likely remodel to move in lockstep with a popular tiki bar revival, bringing back that most classic of aesthetics from the 50s and 60s. So far, we've explored the 2 extremes of childhood basements. One was a complete nightmare, and the other a refined statement of social standing. For this next basement, we've traveled to a house that has what I'd consider a common layout. That is, it's not going to haunt your dreams, but it may be somewhat disorganized and cluttered. And on the other side of the spectrum, it's not a dream basement, yet might be a suitable place to play some games. We head down the stairs to a well-lit, somewhat finished basement. The floor isn't bare concrete, and the walls have not only sheetrock, but also paint and molding. Yet, there's something a little cold about the space that makes you feel like you wouldn't necessarily want to remain in the room overnight. The furniture, well, that's all the secondhand stuff that used to live upstairs, was moving into the basement after the last upgrade. In a way, it feels more like the 70s than the 80s, and things have the smell of stale cigarette smoke. Similarly, everything from the wall paint to the old couch and rug has the color of amber or old tobacco. And yet it's not entirely unappealing. There's something undeniably comfortable about a basement like this. The unfinished elements of the room are mostly dominated by the large shelving units screwed together from pieces of bare wood planks. The floor-to-ceiling units are open at all ends and stand side by side in the far corner, holding all manner of storage. Cardboard boxes line the uppermost shelf. They're labeled with Sharpie directly on the box and say things like Christmas decorations, books, Halloween, winter clothes, toys, and the for donation box that never seem to actually get donated. Pulling down those enormous Halloween boxes, we find old Ben Cooper-style masks and costumes, a tabletop scarecrow blow mold, die-cut wall decorations, yard bags that look like pumpkins, and some treat buckets. The toy box contains mostly older stuff the kids probably stopped playing with once they reached their young teens. Stuff like a plastic toy telephone, the Fisher-Price corn popper push toy, and a Speak and Spell.
He's learning spelling with Texas Instruments Speak and Spell.
Rain. R-A-I-N. That is correct.
She's teaching her brother with Speak and Spell.
H-E-R. That is right.
They're learning new words with Speak and Spell. But don't tell them they're learning. They just think they're having fun. Speak and Spell for words, Speak and Read for stories, Speak and Math for numbers. From Texas Instruments, they make learning fun.
Next to all those mysterious boxes filled with nearly forgotten things, there are stacks upon stacks of board games. The ones you got as gifts that you only played once, the old favorites that you trotted out for game nights, and the newer ones that you've yet to even open.
Hero Quest. Deep inside another dimension, face battling barbarians and evil magic. magic, on a quest for adventure in a maze of monsters. This is Hero Quest, the fantasy adventure game where winning means mastering the arts of combat.
I'll use my broadsword.
And magic.
Fire a brat.
Discover traps and enemies. Uncover secret doors. Once you get into it, you'll never be the same. Hero Quest.
Nothing feels more appropriate to play in a basement than Hero Quest, a classic dungeon crawler first released in 1989. In the game, up to 4 players take on the roles of fantasy heroes, like a barbarian, dwarf, elf, or wizard. As you make your way through the dungeon, you must battle monsters, avoid traps, and complete quests. Now, if that's not quite your style, all the expected games are here, like Monopoly, The Game of Life, Boggle, Checkers, Scrabble, Trivial Pursuit, Pictionary, Battleship, and Connect 4.
DP Gym Pack. Professional exercises at home. DP, fit for life. For life, for life. DP.
My turn.
Our next basement has been transformed into a home gym. There was a massive home gym boom in the 80s, driven largely by VHS tapes, late-night infomercials, and the rising popularity of aerobics. Working out became a legitimate pop culture phenomenon, and apparently the owners of this particular basement were really into it. One section of the basement is for aerobic workouts with Jane Fonda. There's a chunky CRT sitting on a TV stand with a VCR hooked up underneath, and a big stack of workout videos right there beside it. Leg warmers and neon leotards are sitting in a laundry basket, and pastel-colored handheld dumbbells lay on top of a step platform. Nearby is also the Thigh Master, which first came out in 1991. It was a spring-loaded resistance device promoted alongside VHS tapes.
Great legs.
Thank you.
How do you get them?
Some people were born with great legs, but the rest of us have to work at it. I used to do aerobics till I dropped. Then I found Thigh Master. Every single time you squeeze Thigh Master, you strengthen and tone right where you need it. So it's easy to squeeze your way to shapely hips and thighs.
When these muscle groups get out of shape, the result is flabby thighs. Thigh Master is designed to isolate and strengthen these muscles. That's why it works so quickly. That's why I recommend it and use it myself.
I thought I'd never fit into these jeans again. Thank you, Thigh Master. But that's not all. Thigh Master is an excellent way to firm my upper chest, and it works great on my upper arms as well. Hey, now men are using it to strengthen their arms too. Thigh Master, it's quick, it's easy, it really works, and it makes life fair. After all, we may not have been born with great legs, but now we can look like we were.
There are some larger pieces of equipment here too, including a heavy bag, a stationary bike, and the total gym.
When you talk trains, you're talking Train World and Trainland. At Train World and Trainland, there's something for everyone. There are all sizes of trains, such as Lionel Railblazer's starter set for $89.99, or the Lionel large-scale Gold Rush train set for only $198.95. We buy, sell in our Lionel's authorized repair center for the tri-state area. At Train World and Trainland, you'll find a giant selection of brand names, trains, and accessories. Feel like you are the engineer at the controls with Lionel Railscope. It's all at Train World in Brooklyn, 718-436-7072, or Trainland in Long Island, 516-599-7080.
This final basement holds the most unique surprise, a full-room Lionel train layout. The expansive setup has 4 separate routes of standard gauge trains that rumble through tunnels and traverse a variety of landscapes. Tiny metal people go about their business at newspaper stands and waiting at depots, while in the distance you spy a herd of cattle in a green field and a small lake surrounded by people sitting on benches. The trains chug along, some of them puffing out smoke as they go, others whistling or stopping at crossings. At the edge of the platform is the engineer of this massive layout, controlling the trains with a few transformers, each with their own knobs and levers. That's when you realize, with panic, the operator is Gomez Adams.
Mr. Adams.
Hilliard from the Sherwood School.
How do you do, Mr. Hilliard?
I just stopped by to talk to you about... They're going to crash.
You think so, huh? Beautiful. Beautiful.
You meant to blow them up?
Of course. Why else would a grown man play with trains? You want to blow the other bridge?
Well, that was a fun exploratory glimpse of the many things that we may have found in our childhood basements back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. I can't tell you how much I enjoy the mysterious nature of exploring the basements of our minds like this, never knowing what we might find. I enjoy it so much, in fact, that the RetroDaze team is planning a whole series of these exploration videos where we choose a single place or thing and then search to see what we find there like we did today with basements. Will you help us curate a list? What other places or things would you like to explore with us in future videos? Well, you know I would love to hear about it down in the comments, and if you enjoy our content, please consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and maybe even activating that ubiquitous notification bell. It really does make a huge difference. Let's meet again next week to celebrate yesteryear, right here on RetroDaze.
Clicky clacky.